You grab a coffee, hold your phone near the screen, hear a faint chime, and you are done. In less than a second, the transaction completes, requiring zero physical effort and barely breaking your stride. It feels like a trivial moment, but multiply that split-second interaction by hundreds of millions of ordinary consumers every day, and you uncover a massive economic anomaly. That frictionless chime is masking a cognitive hack. By making the act of paying so easy, the systems we use every day are rewriting how the human brain values money. Between 2025 and 2026, individual credit card balances leveled off at roughly $6,659. It seemed people stopped taking on debt, but zooming out reveals a contradiction. Total U.S. credit card debt surged 5.4%, hitting a record $1.25 trillion. The 5.4% jump in total balance is actually higher than the recent rate of inflation. Consumers are holding on to debt that exceeds the simple rise in the cost of living. To figure out how total debt is exploding while individual accounts appear tapped out, we have to look at the nature of money itself. We need to freeze time on that split-second coffee purchase and look closely at what is happening inside your head. Let's rewind that morning coffee run. Instead of tapping your phone, imagine having to reach into your pocket, pull out a physical bill, and hand it to the cashier. Behavioral economists call this the pain of paying. When you count out notes and surrender them, it triggers an immediate negative affective response. Your human brain literally registers parting with physical cash as a concrete loss. Cash creates a strict boundary. You can literally watch your wallet thin out. This makes the depletion of resources obvious. Once the money is gone, you can't spend anymore. That psychological discomfort evolved as a necessary biological break. It forces you to think critically about your consumption and adhere to strict financial limits. Replace the cash with a digital screen, and you encounter a phenomenon researchers call spendception. When you remove the physical exchange, you create an emotional detachment. The transaction feels abstract, triggering a monopoly money effect, where cash no longer feels entirely real. Because your money now exists as uniform digits on a screen rather than distinct physical bills, it strips away the visual anchors that help you track value. Without those cues, you systematically underestimate your cumulative spending. This chart shows the direct result of that abstraction. Experimental data proves that people using mobile payments exhibit a willingness to pay 10 to 11% more for the exact same items compared to people paying with physical cash. Spendception removes our cognitive defenses. By turning a real financial loss into an invisible, painless action, it creates an environment where impulse buying becomes the default behavior. Since the late 1950s, modern financial technology has evolved through a series of constant upgrades designed to reduce transaction time. The introduction of the first credit cards began a long process of decoupling physical currency from the actual point of sale. Today, digital systems like one-click checkouts and buy now, pay later arrangements utilize a powerful behavioral principle called temporal decoupling. They completely separate the act of consuming an item from the act of paying for it. These systems exploit your present bias. They deliver the immediate joy of acquiring an item right now, while pushing the actual financial cost into the distant, invisible future. By removing the cognitive pause time needed for reflection, these payment systems leave consumers exposed to their own impulses, turning a sudden, uncontrolled, split-second desire into a binding financial commitment before the brain has a chance to catch up. When you zoom out from a single consumer psychology to the broader retail landscape, you see entire environments engineered around this exact concept, actively removing cash from the equation. This psychological bypass accounts for the Experian data paradox. Individual consumers feel maxed out and have hit their absolute cognitive management ceilings. But because the friction is gone, the total systemic debt continues to swell uncontrollably. Modern digital storefronts are designed primarily for conversion. Every aspect of the user experience is calibrated to move a user from curiosity to purchase as quickly as possible. The frictionlessness we celebrate as efficiency is a structural mechanism designed to strip away your financial self-control. Because human-centered finance has engineered away the natural pain of paying, you are left entirely unprotected by default. To survive this modern environment, You must actively and intentionally reintroduce friction into your own daily financial routines. You can start building these roadblocks today. Disable one-click checkouts, turn off biometric authorizations for purchases, and delete your saved credit cards from your web browsers. In an increasingly cashless society, the system won't regulate your spending for you. You have to manually force your brain to consciously reckon with the heavy cost of every invisible digital dollar you spend.